Hey guys, how's it going? This is Tim bringing you guys daily deals with Tim, where I talk about the latest news and deals on cryptocurrency, all for you guys. And before I begin, this is my personal opinion and not financial advice. Now today, I'm going to share my thoughts on the EOS freeze. Now, EOS has been on the kind of the mainstream crypto news for the past couple of months now. They had a exponential rise in price, and their mainnet has just launched. However, their mainnet launch was not very successful in my opinion. Their mainnet actually didn't begin because there was not enough vote to vote for the block producers, kind of like the delegated proof of stake system. But there wasn't enough votes, so they had to wait until there was enough votes, and then they had to decide in a conference call on when to actually start the mainnet launch. So it was delayed further on, and now there is another problem, or at least problem for the crypto community, maybe not for EOS investors or EOS block producers. However, for the crypto community in general, this is a big problem. So let's go through the news here. So the title is EOS block producers freeze user funds to prevent theft, resulting in Twitter backlash. Now, when you hear freeze in cryptocurrency, there's two types. One is the freezing of funds, and the other is freezing for incentives. I believe Icon is doing something where if you freeze your funds, then it helps to the liquidity of ICX, but that is for future occasions. For now, freezing user funds, it should signal you some negative connotations. I believe Ripple did a similar thing, and some other cryptos as well. But let's go through this news right here. So EOS has frozen 7 accounts compromised by the registration process through phishing scams, according to a Steamy post, and this led to a backlash, saying that the block producers have violated their own constitutions. And in Twitter, Nick Szabo said this: in EOS, a few complete strangers can freeze what users thought was their money. Under the EOS protocol, you must trust a constitutional organization comprised of people you will likely never get to know. The EOS constitution is socially unscalable and a security hole. So basically, the law becomes this 21 people group of the EOS block producers, and they get to dictate who they can freeze and which transactions they do not want to process. And this was according to their EOS 911 initiative, and they discussed the decision to freeze these accounts over a 2-hour conference call, deciding that since the EOS IO constitution has not yet been ratified, they could ignore the EOS core arbitration forum's decision not to freeze the funds. So basically, these 21 group of people decided that since the constitution is not yet kind of established, they could do whatever they want. And this is a big problem. And another pretty good influencer, Charlie Shrem, tweeted this out: protecting, punishing, no. No one gets to decide those things. You are hair swapping one nation state for another, albeit a digital one. This is the point of crypto. No one should have that power. If you do, then we should just stop wasting everyone's time. And this is the actual emergency order coming out from the EOS block producer, saying that these 7 addresses here that the EOS block producers will refuse to process transactions for these accounts indefinitely until further notice. And this was made over a 2-hour conference call. So what is the problem with this? Well, you should be able to formulate your own judgment from this, but at least for me, cryptocurrency should be something that no single power should be able to dictate. And especially with transactions and refusing to transact for these 7 accounts, what this means that there is a single point of failure. That if these 21 people get to decide on the blockchain, which it shouldn't be, decentralization is for everyone to input their kind of their influence on the blockchain. And for EOS, this really shows that it's a centralized community or a centralized project. They are funded by Block 1. And these 21 group of block producers get to decide on what to do. And this is a similar problem that I have with Ripple, in that they are heavily influenced by the Ripple Labs, and the lead executives of Ripple Labs get to decide what they want to do with Ripple. Although some things are not changeable in their distributed ledger, they have powerful influences to communicate with exchanges and such, to block accounts, to freeze accounts, to restrict them from trading Ripple, and so forth. And especially with EOS, I was never fond of EOS because they come from a centralized background, and these issues coming up really reflect on that. And so you gotta ask yourself, why are you investing into cryptocurrencies? Is it for decentralization? Is it because your fund cannot be confiscated, it's censorship resistant, and whatever you invest in can become a sound money? Or is it because you just want the gains? So you gotta really think about it, because EOS, if you have EOS tokens or cryptocurrency, it could be revoked by these block producers. If they decide your account is fraudulent, then they could just block you and not process your transactions, and your fund would be zero. So what's different from that and from government? If the government deems you fraudulent, then they could just block your bank account and arrest you. And in a digital sense, if the EOS block producers deems you fraudulent, they can make your fund into zero, no matter how much you have. So that is a fundamental question that you have to ask yourself. Are you investing into cryptocurrency just because of money, or because it's going to be a new revolution of sound money, of Austrian economics, in deflationary currency that is censorship resistance, decentralized, and sound? Now, this conclusion might not come to you when you first watch this video, but as you study further on, you'll realize that fiat money really is not secure. If you think about it, I think very few cryptocurrencies are probably the most secure forms of money, as they're secured by tons of electricity and tons of developers. However, projects like EOS and Ripple, this is simply my opinion, but they're not really cryptocurrencies, because they're just kind of privatized money that can be dictated by this central figure, and they have a central point of failure. So in a sense, it's not really, these kind of projects are not too far away from fiat, in a sense that they're money created by this company, and they get to decide what to do with it, similar to how the US government creates the US dollar, and they get to decide what they want to do with it. And especially because these crypto projects are digital, they could make their actions over the internet. So you gotta be careful out there and decide for yourself. Am I investing into really cryptocurrency or just different forms of fiat money in digital ways? So just ask yourself those questions and really contemplate on it, because I think this is an interesting perspective that will rise, not only have risen in the past, but will keep on revisiting in the future. So I'll leave you guys at that. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this kind of content, like this video, comment below, and smash that subscribe button. Also, if you guys want to support this channel, check out the links below, and I really appreciate that. And as always, I'll bring you guys more deals on Daily Deals with Tim.